Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a super detailed blueprint for running a fully automated, faceless YouTube channel that specifically targets Western audiences. We're extracting this strategy straight from a really fascinating source that claims you can build a highly profitable channel without ever stepping in front of a camera, using just your smartphone and a handful of smart AI tools. All right, let's kick things off with a massive financial claim from our source. According to the back-end analytics they shared, they generated nearly $40,000, $39,189 to be exact, from just a single automated channel. And the crazy part? This wasn't built up over a decade. It was a rapid scale-up using a very specific copy-paste AI method.
Now, if you know anything about standard YouTube revenue, that raises a huge question, right? How on earth does a faceless channel pull in that kind of cash with just 3 million views? Usually, domestic channels need tens of millions of views to hit that sort of payout. Well, the secret lies in a really clever combination of capturing high RPM audiences and pumping out smart, scalable commentary content.
So, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the faceless dollar strategy. Second, the 5 rules for new channels. Third, top high RPM niches. And finally, the automated production process.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the faceless dollar strategy.
This whole model revolves around something called commentary shorts. Basically, you're not filming a single thing yourself. Instead, you're taking existing, proven viral clips from places like TikTok or Instagram, and you're adding your own unique value to them. By writing a brand new script, layering a unique AI voiceover, and tossing in some dynamic edits, you completely transform the original piece. And the source notes that doing this correctly safely places your content under fair use policies, meaning you can monetize without dealing with pesky copyright strikes.
Now, as a quick kind of funny aside, the source actually claims they're sharing this entire blueprint for free simply because of a hurt ego involving a competitor. They even ask viewers to spam the guy's comments. But look, we're strictly focused on the mechanics today, so we're just going to set the drama aside and look at the actual channel building steps they laid out.
Moving right along to Section 2, 5 rules for new channels.
The source is super strict about these setup rules, insisting that ignoring them will literally result in 0 views. So, rule number 1, you absolutely must use an old Gmail account when creating your new YouTube channel. Why? Because YouTube's algorithm already trusts accounts that have a history. Brand new Gmail accounts have 0 data, which the source claims leads to incredibly slow growth and those frustrating 0-view uploads. If you absolutely have to use a new email, they suggest creating it a month in advance and actively using it to build up a digital footprint. Rule number 2 is all about verification. Whatever you do, do not link a bunch of experimental channels to the exact same phone number or IP address. The algorithm is super sensitive to this kind of thing and might flag your devices as a spam network. To keep your new channel from being dead on arrival, the source recommends just using a fresh SIM card or borrowing a family member's phone for that initial verification step.
Moving to Rule 3, and this tackles a massive fear literally almost every new creator has. Does YouTube actually shadow ban new channels when views suddenly flatline?
Well, according to our source, the answer is an emphatic no. Based on their extensive testing across multiple channels, sudden drops in viewership are just natural platform fluctuations. The algorithm is constantly testing audiences. So they advise creators to totally ignore the shadow ban myths and just stay ruthlessly focused on making better content instead of panicking. Rule 4 is really about managing your expectations so you don't burn out. The source is brutally honest here. Your first video is not going to go viral. In fact, if you get a solid 100 to 200 views on your very first upload, you should be celebrating. That's a massive success. Treat those early views purely as a stepping stone. And that brings us to Rule 5, which honestly might be the most counterintuitive advice of the whole bunch. Upload exactly 2 videos in your first month and then stop completely. Don't upload daily, don't flood the channel. Why? Because a brand new channel has 0 audience data. By uploading just twice and then waiting, you're giving YouTube's algorithm a full 30 days to cleanly analyze your content, parse your English audio, and find your exact Western audience without accidentally triggering any spam filters.
All right, Section 3, top high RPM niches.
To actually turn this methodical setup into real profit, you got to pick the right topic. The source points to 5 absolute gold mines for targeting Western markets: news, finance and earning, AI, history, and sleep ASMR. These specific categories consistently draw in advertisers who are more than happy to pay top dollar.
But why these specific niches? Well, it all boils down to high RPM,
or revenue per mil. By making sure your content is in English and targeting viewers in the US or Canada, you can generate 2 to 5 times more revenue per 1,000 views compared to audiences in developing markets. It's simple economics. Advertisers in the West just pay more for consumer attention.
Let's hit Section 4, the automated production process.
So how do we actually pull this off without showing our face? It's basically a 4-step automated assembly line you can run right from your phone. Step 1, hunt down visually engaging clips from viral TikTok or Instagram accounts. Step 2, run the video through a free transcript generator, then feed that text into ChatGPT to rewrite a fresh, punchy script of the exact same length. Step 3, put that new script into 11 Labs for a flawless AI voiceover. And Step 4, assemble the whole thing in CapCut.
Let's zoom in on that CapCut editing phase, because this is honestly where the magic happens. The absolute first thing you have to do when dropping that viral clip into your timeline is mute the original audio. You definitely don't want any weird clashing sounds or lingering copyrighted music messing up your brand new video.
Next up, drop in your AI voiceover. And the source gives a very specific pro tip here. They highly recommend using the Alex voice profile from 11 Labs. It delivers this really natural, authoritative American accent that hits the sweet spot for those high RPM demographics we talked about.
After that, use CapCut's Auto Captions tool. Throw them up high on the screen so they're super clean and easy to read. But you can't stop there. The source says you must add dynamic keyframe overlays. Think tracking red circles that highlight a specific detail, or animated arrows pointing to the action. This constant visual movement is absolutely crucial for boosting audience retention and keeping people glued to the screen.
Finally, you're going to layer in some engaging sound effects whenever one of those arrows pops up or a transition hits. And underneath it all, put down a soothing or suspenseful background track. Just make sure to keep the volume low, around 25 to 30%, so it doesn't drown out your AI voice commentary.
As you start putting these videos together, you really need to remember this core philosophy from the source. Treat your first few videos purely as data gathering for the algorithm. Don't obsess over immediate cash. And whatever you do, don't watch the videos from your own device to artificially bump up views, because the algorithm will definitely catch that. Patience is your absolute best friend here.
So we've unpacked the mechanics, busted the shadow ban myths, and walked through the exact automated assembly line. This explainer really proves just how structured and methodical YouTube growth can be when you stop treating it like a lottery and start treating it like a data-driven business. With the blueprint fully laid out, the only question you have to ask yourself now is, which high RPM niche are you going to choose to conquer first? Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this deep dive, and I will see you in the next explainer.